Welcome to our very first week in this 10-week mindfulness training series. I want to thank you for being here, and I just want you to take a moment to thank yourself for being here. I'm sure that you already have some idea of the benefits of mindfulness. It reduces our stress and anxiety, it can improve the quality of our sleep, and it can also increase our focus and concentration. And it's because of these benefits that mindfulness is becoming increasingly popular. And more people are beginning to incorporate mindful practices in their day-to-day life. However, I think as change makers, we need to be a little bit wary of the fact that mindfulness and inner work, in the way that it is practiced today, doesn't necessarily seek to address some of the problems in our external outer world. And sometimes, if we're not careful, it can lead to a sort of blissed out form of self-absorption that can really obscure the larger societal problems that we are facing. This can manifest through things like spiritual bypassing, through ignorance that is sometimes disguised as enlightenment. An example of this might be, somebody who says, "Oh, I don't see color." And in other words, when our mindfulness practice is really focused on our own personal regulation and moment-to-moment attention, we can sometimes lose sight of the bigger picture. Now, in academic circles and also in the activist community, there is this concept that has kind of arisen in recent years called mindfulness, which is essentially the way that mindfulness has become something that can be consumed. It's a product that we are sold. And that's why it was really important to me to make this course and this information available to as many change makers as I possibly can for free. I don't want mindfulness to be this thing that only those with privilege are able to access. Mindfulness at its core is really about making the world a better place and allowing us as individuals to reach our potential so that we can increase the collective consciousness of humanity and make humanity as a whole better. So in today's lesson, I'm just going to be kind of introducing what mindfulness is, getting you to kind of practice a few mindfulness exercises and really get a feel for how you can incorporate mindfulness into your daily life. Now, we also have a series on the Renew Humanity YouTube channel where there are daily mindfulness exercises. And this is a library that I will continue to add to with daily practices that range from maybe 3 minutes to some that are closer to 10 minutes. But the idea is to provide you with a range of different practices and ways that you can incorporate mindfulness into your life. And it's my hope in doing this that you will find some that really resonate with you, some that really work for you, maybe others that don't. But I encourage you to just practice them every single day and maybe take note of the exercises that really help you and really allow you to be more mindful. And you can go back and return to these as your mindfulness practice begins to grow. So to begin today's lesson, we have a lot of topics to kind of cover and some really simple kind of meditation practices that I'm going to share with you. And we also have some resources. Journaling is something that you would like to get into the practice of, which is something that I really recommend. I think journaling was kind of the activity that really got me into the world of mindfulness, and it's something that I do almost daily. Then I encourage you to just check out the link in the description if you are watching this not live, and check out the links to our journal prompts. So I want you to begin by just taking a deep breath.
Start by thinking about what's good right now, what's going well in your life, what's bringing you joy, and what feels pleasant. Take a moment to reflect on the good, the joyful, and the pleasant. Now, consider what's challenging in life right now. What's causing you stress? And what about life is unpleasant? You're welcome to close your eyes and take a moment to let yourself think about the stress, the challenges, the unpleasant. Thinking about these things may cause you to feel some tension, stress, or anxiety. That's totally normal. What you should try to do is just observe these things without judgment. Now, I invite you to feel your feet on the ground or any part of your body that is touching solid beneath you. It may feel a little unpleasant in your body right now. Just make note of where in your body it feels unpleasant. Maybe it's your neck, your shoulders, your back, maybe your jaw or your brow. Try to notice whether your muscles are tense or soft. Take a moment and notice your breathing. Is it shallow? Is it rapid, deep, or slow? Just notice these things without any judgment or without trying to fix them. Now, try to open up to a sense of spaciousness, a sense of ease, especially in those parts that are carrying stress, tension, or any of life's challenges. Wish yourself well with an open heart, and when you're ready, you can begin to open your eyes.
Congratulations. You just finished your first mindfulness meditation. Take a moment to think about how that practice felt for you. Was there anything that you noticed? How do you feel now compared to when we started that exercise? Sometimes paying attention can be unpleasant or pleasant. This is the essence of mindfulness. It's about paying attention to our moment-to-moment experiences without any judgment. Now, it's very simple, but it's not always that easy. As you grow in your practice, I will be here every week for the next 10 weeks. Plus, I will have my resources on the Renewed Humanity YouTube page to try and help you with these challenges as they arise, whatever they may be. I really do consider it my privilege to be able to support a community of changemakers on this journey of mindfulness, because it's definitely something that I think I could have personally benefited from many, many years ago when I began my change-making journey. I am going to try to share as many science-based practices as I can that are proven to have helped people, practices from different cultures and different religions or spiritualities. And I really hope to help you find particular exercises or techniques that work well for you. And I think the goal that I have is to really just help you be able to develop a practice and find a way to make mindfulness work so that you can, I guess, become a better change maker and work towards your goals as a change maker in a more mindful way. My intention is for this to be a really safe and welcoming, encouraging space, whether you're joining us on Zoom or whether I am holding workshops like this in person, or whether you are watching the replay on YouTube. I think that it's important for me to preface that I don't consider myself an expert when it comes to mindfulness. I am just a human. I am just as much on a learning journey as you might be. I am simply somebody who practices mindfulness. And by the end of this course, by the end of this lesson, I hope that you also begin to see yourself as a person who practices mindfulness. I hope that as you continue on this journey with me or without me, that you continue to remain curious, be eager to try new things, and be open to making mistakes as we learn. Now, you may have experienced some benefits not long ago when we did our first practice. Now, practitioners at all levels report benefits of mindfulness physically, emotionally, cognitively, and practicing moment-to-moment awareness without holding any judgment has been proven to provide many physical and mental benefits. So I want you to take a moment to just think back to how you felt before and think about what your goals are as an individual, as a person who is trying to make the world a better place, and think about what your reasons are for being here today or watching this video. And bring this into the space that you're in as an intention for yourself and for your growing mindfulness practice. We're going to do a meditation practice together. This is a breath awareness guided meditation that I'll be guiding you through. And its aim is to remind us that throughout much of our day, through our modern ways of living, we often forget that we're breathing. And the breath continues with or without conscious effort or our awareness of it. And drawing our attention to it, we can really begin to deepen our sense of peace and our sense of ease by easing the way that our body responds to stress. Mindful breath awareness and deeper breathing practices can also help to reduce our cortisol levels, which is the body's primary stress hormone. So it goes without saying that breath can be a really powerful tool that, as change makers, is really worthy of our attention.
Begin in a comfortable seated position, straightening your spine and softening the rest of your body. When you feel ready, close your eyes and draw your attention to the breath. Without trying to change the breath in any way, notice how effortlessly it flows in and out of your body. Keep this relaxed, open attention on your breath. If the mind starts to wander, as it does for all of us, simply observe this movement away from the breath before compassionately inviting it back. To move deeper into the exploration of your breath, pay attention to each subtle movement that comes with the breath. There's the inhalation, beginning at the nostrils and moving slowly through to the lungs. The slight pause at the end of the inhalation, chest and belly expanded. The exhalation and the way the body contracts or falls as the breath moves back out. The slight pause at the end of the exhalation, chest and belly relaxed. Spend some time now observing each of these subtle phases of the breath. Now, expand your awareness to encompass the entire physical body. Notice what parts of your body move in tandem with the breath. Watch your breath move throughout your body. When you are ready, gently shift your attention to the floor or whatever surface is beneath you. Ground yourself into the physical world before slowly opening your eyes.
So, breath awareness has been a really important part of many ancient traditions. Buddhism, for instance, has long understood the importance of the breath, and there are many ancient practices that this religion has that involve the breath. In other regions of the world, the breath has also been revered as a really powerful life force and something that people have devoted a lot of their time and attention to understanding. It's a seemingly simple movement of energy, but it's something that we often take for granted. And being able to tune into our breath really holds the potential for much greater inner peace and personal power and insight. I want to turn to two core components of mindfulness. One of these is focused attention, and the other is the present moment. Mindfulness doesn't always need to seem like it is a feat of your sheer will and determination. You can find many different ways to help with your attention. Now, focused attention is essentially a sustained alertness or vigilance to a particular object of attention. It's something that we can use to bring us back, bring our mind back from any thoughts, sensations, noises, ruminations, fears, or any of the many distractions in our often chaotic world. We call this orienting back to attention, and we can develop the skill of detecting when the attention wanders and bringing the mind back to focus. The object of your attention can be anything external. It could be a candle, a stone, a pen that's in front of you, or it could be something internal. It could be a mantra that you're repeating, or a particular part of your body. It could even be something like the breath. So have a moment to think about some of the objects that might be in the space that you're currently in, or a space that you spend some time in, and somewhere that you can focus your attention on. I want you to then close your eyes, and I want you to practice feeling a particular solid place in your body that you can focus your attention on. It might be the feeling of your feet on the floor. It might be the palms of your hands. It might be the tips of your fingers as they touch together. The present moment is the focus of a mindful state of awareness for both our internal and external worlds. So instead of ruminating the past or being preoccupied with the future, mindfulness can sustain the attention on the present moment without any judgment. It can sometimes be challenging to stay in the present moment. Our mind is kind of reshaping the past and preparing us for the future when we are on autopilot. Things like worries, pain, things that we want or need often float into our consciousness, and our mind can become a constant buzz of activity instead of being a quiet, present, and aware state of mind. Something that we can do is simply noticing the mind's tendencies. And in doing so, we can create the opportunity to come fully into the present. It can take a little bit of practice and patience, but we can guide the mind towards the now and help it stay there for longer, simply because the present is where we are fully experiencing ourselves, joy, calm, and growth. It's totally normal to feel bored, to feel tired, or even annoyed during times when we are practicing guided meditations and mindfulness exercises, especially when we're doing it day after day, month after month. And it's important to remember that you don't have to like every exercise, you just have to do it. Mindfulness isn't about liking the present moment. It's not this idea of toxic positivity where we're trying to constantly feel good or pleasant or comfortable. It's about paying attention to our genuine human experience without holding any judgment. Now, this means that you might experience doubt that mindfulness even works, and this is normal and completely understandable. The mind typically reacts to uncomfortable situations by being annoyed, agitated, or averse. But sometimes the practices that we have the most resistance to turn out to be the ones that are most effective and powerful for us. Boredom, impatience, frustration, all of these things shouldn't be considered a problem for our mindfulness practice. We just need to view these as passing mind states in the same way that anxiety or sadness or joy or gratitude are passing mind states. So every time you practice mindfulness exercises or meditations or try to have a mindful moment, you're going to be growing your capacity, your patience, your awareness, your focus, and your resilience, which are all really key character attributes that we should be aiming to have as change makers. So before I let you go, I'm going to send you off with one final grounding practice. Feeling your feet is a really great way to help engage your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the system that is responsible for calming your body and mind. So I want you to consider how you're going to remind yourself to feel your feet throughout the day. Maybe you want to go and put a sticky note on your computer, or set a reminder on your phone, or use any particular awareness trigger as a way to just remind yourself to take a moment to ask yourself a really simple question: where are my feet? And during your day, you can bring awareness to your feet. So feel your feet now and feel how they're resting.
Now, close your eyes and sit with good posture in your chair. Feel your feet grounded on the floor. Scan your foot from the heel to the arch, to the ball, toes, and the top of each foot. Take a few deep breaths as you continue to pay attention to your feet. Allow your body and mind to settle a bit with each exhalation, and allow your feet to relax.
Thank you so much for an excellent first session. As you bring awareness back to the space that you're currently in, I just want to end by letting you thank yourself and wishing yourself and those who have joined you, or those who might be watching this video in the future, well, as we all move forward on our journey.